So I really wasn't looking forward to yet another rendition of Robin Hood, especially given the last few weren't very good. I think Ren was actually looking forward more to this version than I was, but it was actually pretty interesting.
Welcome to Siren Cut, and we just watched the death of Robin Hood last night. What did you think?
So as I stated before, I was not really looking forward to it. Mostly because I like Hugh Jackman and everything, but it was yet another rendition of the Robin Hood mythos, and seeing how the last few versions of the Robin Hood movies have not done too well, I wasn't quite as looking forward to it. But I know you were. I mean, I
I
remember when we saw the
was.
trailer, you seemed to be like pretty stoked, for it.
It looked very epic as far as how the filming of the movie,
Oh, it was
as
a
far as it,
beautiful film too.
right, and the acting was fantastic. I loved how deep it was. It's almost as if Robin Hood is looking to really understand himself and his actions and how it affected everything in his life towards the
Right.
end of his life. And it felt like, as people in general, as we get older, that we start questioning.
Start reflecting. Right.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
I thought that part was very deep, as far as how people see their lives, and they look back and they go, oh my gosh, I should have done this, or did I do it for the right reasons, and so forth.
It was kind of interesting take too, because I can kind of see. I haven't read anything one way or another regarding this, but I kind of see that a lot of discussion has gone. You'll hear with, like, say, Spider-Man or the Batman movies. Every time they talk about a reboot, and it's like, do we go through the origin story again, right? And how do we do that and stuff? So in some ways, it feels like they tried to avoid that. They didn't want to repeat a whole origin thing that everyone's seeing multiple versions of this already. So they take you through basically to after the legend, you know? And it was interesting the way they did it. But some people remember the legends of him being some sort of hero. And then through the movie, you realize there's other people who don't remember him and his stories so fondly,
Exactly, they
right?
see him as a villain,
They see him
really.
as a villain, as a monster.
And so it kind of has that duality
Right,
of a human person as being good and bad, and I loved that.
right, right, right.
And I thought that Hugh Jackman was amazing. And even I forgot what the little girl, the daughter,
Oh,
Little
Little
John's
John's daughter.
daughter,
Yeah,
she was amazing too, as far as just as a child actor,
right,
right?
right.
But I just thought it was really deep, and you start thinking further than.
That's another one you didn't realize that was Bill Skarsgård
Yeah,
playing
I didn't.
Little John.
I almost forgot that was Hugh Jackman.
Right, right.
Because they did so well. It's kind of like watching Gary Oldman and getting into character, and you see them as that character.
You don't see them anymore.
No, you don't. You don't see the actor. And I thought that the movie was pretty
Although some people
good.
pointed out of some parallels between Hugh Jackman's take on this Robin Hood, the aging Robin Hood, and his role as Logan, in especially the Logan movie, right?
Right.
And I would say I kind of get that, that comparison. I wouldn't say it's exactly the same thing.
I think the reason why they see the similarity is because, as Wolverine, he's like an anti-hero. And also with Robin Hood, he's an anti-hero as well, if you think about it.
Well, he wasn't really a
He
hero.
wasn't
He
even a
even
hero, he
says,
was
yeah.
more of like
I mean, he was a
thief,
brigand,
right?
He was an
Yeah,
outlaw,
right.
And even in the movie, he mentions that occasionally he may have given some poor people some stuff,
Right.
that they didn't need, but most of it was them just being outlaws.
I guess, right. I
Yeah,
mean, sure, but he did a little good. I mean, you have like that duality of the person, the
right,
good, the bad, and the ugly,
right.
right, whatever. But yeah, I think,
I think in some way, one thing I haven't noticed anybody talk about, for this movie, and it's not a direct comparison, but for some reason it reminded me a lot of the Brad Pitt movie, The Assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford. I know you've not seen it. Beautiful movie, very slow. A lot of people think it's very slow, very well made, and it was a really good movie. And I think I compare it to in that sense, in that, okay, I understand somebody's trepidation by calling it slow. I kind of think of it more as deliberate.
No,
I don't.
I get that.
I feel like they were a lot more deliberate in their pacing, and because it was a heady subject, it was a lot more in common with dramas, straight up dramas that happen to take place in what was it, the 1200s or something like that,
Right.
or I forgot what year, if they even said what year specifically.
You have
But
to be ready for it. It's
right.
one of those that you have to pay attention
And
to
there's
the
so,
movie.
especially the first 20 minutes, there's definitely some action that is like in your face, and they do a pretty good job in showing how brutal they are. But the lessons, the characters learn, and the fact that he's going through what he is, when he shows up with on the island, and gets rehabilitated, because he's pretty injured, by that point.
Near death.
And then there's some characters that you meet there, and some you recognize from early in the film, where the tension comes from, this kid. I mean, he's not much older than a kid, is most likely there for revenge. But he hasn't done it yet, and you're just kind of waiting for the shoe to drop or something like that. And it doesn't quite go the way you think it's going to go all the time. It's
No.
like a lot of people think, he's going to be typical movie. He's going to be rehabilitated. He's going to get back up to strength, and then he's going to go out and take revenge on the people who killed, his friend, or what happened in the beginning of the film, and stuff like that. But it really doesn't,
Go that way.
manifest in that way. I thought it was a really good film. Now, very similar to the Jesse James movie I just mentioned. Is this something I would watch a ton, times? I'll probably watch it again, especially when it comes to streaming, just to see it again, see how my opinion holds up and stuff like that. But it's not what I would call an entertaining movie.
No,
right?
you have to be
Right.
ready for it.
Right.
It's almost like it's like one of those, like Godfather. It's that epic. It feels that way to me.
Yeah, it's kind of a bigger story. I would say a more important story, because I don't know if the story scale is epic so much. I think the epicness comes from the cinematography and the way it was
It's
directed.
beautiful.
It was an amazing looking film, but yeah, I think that's why it seems epic. But the story itself is very personal. It's a very personal, small story, when you think about it.
I know last night you didn't want to film because you said I need this. I need to let this.
Well, we
sit
got
a
on top
bit."
of getting back, a little late. I mean, it wasn't super late, but I kind of wanted to sit with the film a little bit and kind of think about it and go over it a little bit. So, yeah, so that's why we held off till today
I think that was a
to
good
do
call.
it. But overall, it was a really good film. I was actually surprised, given my earlier trepidation on seeing it in the first place. But I liked it. I think it's definitely worth seeing. If you're going into this thinking it's going to be a straight up action, swashbuckling film or something like that, and yeah, I can see how you'd be disappointed. But I think in the end, we didn't need yet another reboot rendition of
Robin
like
Hood.
Robin Hood and his origin story, and I mean, kind of the same old, same old. I liked the way they did that. He's gone past the point of there is, Little John, I think, was the last of the merry men that he had, and they never even refer to them as such. And I'm one of the people, I love the old 1938 Robin Hood with Earl Flynn, and it's like it's one of the big ones for the mythos, and it's a swashbuckling film, and he's got the charm and the charisma and stuff, and that's what a lot of us, especially in our generation, grew up with, the old Robin Hood, and none of them have quite captured that. at all, really. Even in some of the ones, I know Kevin Costner's Robin Hood did really well box office wise,
And then
but
the Men in Tights.
even they failed to
Right.
capture Robin Hood. The Men in Tights was actually closer, but it was a little silly, over the top comedy, right? So it was a little different, but at least it was entertaining, right? And then some of the other ones, which I don't think you've seen. I don't think you've seen the Russell Crowe one.
No, I have
And
not.
I don't think you've seen the one with, I always forget his name. He was in The Kingsman. But he was with Jamie Foxx, taught him how to shoot bow and everything and stuff like that. That was super shallow movie.
This is
Just not
pretty
very
deep.
good. But yeah, definitely a really good movie. As far as movie making goes, great performances, great cinematography. The directing was well done, editing was well done. It's definitely worth seeing. If you're hoping to see, especially after this last weekend where we had the Furious
Oh,
and high
yeah.
action, if
Oh,
it's
that
you're
was
expecting
fun.
anything even half that much.
That's
With that
not
much
good. You're
action,
not gonna
then
get that.
yeah, you're not going to get that here. But overall, it's definitely worth seeing.
I
I
agree.
think people should see it. It's definitely like most dramas. I don't know that it will be a huge money making film.
I think with all the things that are being released this weekend, like Toy Story 5
Yeah.
and what was the other one, Leviticus.
All
I
right,
think it might
that's a
kind of,
small film too.
yeah, but there's just a lot of summer. I mean, you have Supergirl that's
Yeah,
coming
but it's
out
not.
as
Yeah,
well. I mean,
yeah.
it might actually
It's
just.
got a little bit of time to at least hopefully do some business.
Yeah, it's worth it to see this movie, I think.
Yeah, even if you just like Hugh Jackman, he was really good in it. Definitely check it out.
Yeah, I
If
agree.
you get the chance. Some negatives? Not really.
No, actually.
Actually, I think the only negative, and it's a very small negative. So this movie was just over 2 hours, 2 hours 3 minutes. I think is the official runtime, somewhere
Okay.
around there.
Yeah.
It felt
It was a little.
it felt the 2 hours. It did feel like the 2 hours. It never felt like it overstayed its welcome, though. To me,
It didn't feel
Yeah.
like it was. It felt like it had to be 2 hours.
Yeah, I mean
Beca-
I mean if you're nitpicking, they probably could have trimmed out a little bit here and
But
there,
not
but
much.
not a ton. There's a lot of important scenes and the way they came out, very deliberate. They're very deliberate paced and
And beautiful.
yeah. So
I
yeah,
want to go there.
yeah, I know. Yeah, it's filmed in Ireland, I think.
I
Yeah,
think so. Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, let us know if you got the chance to check it out. What you thought? Are you disappointed that you want to go back to the old like Earl Flynn swashbuckling type, Robin Hood, or if you kind of appreciated this version of, more mature Robin Hood who's kind of reflecting on his
life.
past deeds and stuff. Yeah, yeah. So let us know. Give us a like, subscribe if you want to see what's coming up next.
And thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks. All right, later.